Hi everybody and welcome back to WEDucation. I am here today. We are going to talk about Mateo and Company photography.
Yes, that's correct. Mateo and Company, that's right.
All right guys, introduce yourselves and also what you do for Mateo and Company. Tell us everything.
So I am Cody. I am Matthew's partner, and I would say I'm the creative assistant. And yeah.
What does a creative assistant do?
So-
I'm going to put you on the spot.
So I guess basically I'm Matthew's assistant.
You're the brains behind the operation, just
That's what some people like to say.
Yeah, some people do say that. No, but on each wedding I go with Matthew, and I don't shoot unless I have to. So typically what I do is I go and I set up all details. I make sure our itinerary is ran smoothly. I make sure the brides know what they're doing. Not that I'm a planner or anything, but just I'm with them all day.
Yeah.
So I kind of make sure they got what they need, know what they're doing, make sure Matthew knows what he's doing. I'll set up poses for Matthew if he's, busy setting up lighting or, getting his camera settings working properly.
And running that shot list too.
Correct.
So
every
that's
time we
really
have a shot
helpful.
list, I'm running all of that. I run all the family photos. I set all that up. So.
Awesome.
So my name is Matt Diaz, and I am the owner and lead photographer of Mateo and Company. So I'm going to add to what Cody does, because I think that we can also pivot into some other topics from here. But to me, Cody is so much more than just an assistant. I think a lot of times if Cody can't do it, I have other people that can do it, but the truth is no one really can do it like Cody can, because Cody is at our consultations with our clients. He's on engagement shoots with them.
Oh.
He's on, if we go get drinks with our clients, he's there with them. So at the end of the day, he knows the client just like I know the client. And so to me, it's extremely helpful knowing that he knows that, so that when he's setting them up, he's setting them up the way the couple is. So we don't just do the same pose for every couple. We really want to capture the couple for who they are. So Cody knows who they are at that point. And then also Cody is to a degree the brains, because at the end of the day, as a photographer, first and foremost, I'm thinking in terms of lighting, framing, architectural backgrounds, things like that, composition. Cody's thinking, how does the couple look? And one thing that I think is very important, and this, I guess, to a degree is sort of what separates us from other, companies, is most people don't have a Cody, because maybe they don't want to, maybe it's hard to find a Cody, maybe it's hard to pay for a Cody, I don't know. But I have a Cody. And what's funny is a lot of the planners that we work with, they all want to steal Cody. So if you're watching,
100%.
you cannot have him.
I already
He's mine.
want to steal him.
He's mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is something very different. So, I mean, and I'm sure for you, it makes things so much easier. And for you, really taking that time to get to know those clients, I think, regardless, your images are going to be that much better.
Yeah.
So
I don't
that's
have to
good.
worry about shooting. So Matthew and whoever our second shooter is, that's what they're worried about.
Absolutely.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I do what I do, and they can do what they do.
And he loves it, and that's the
Yeah.
other thing.
Yeah.
He's passionate about it, and I think that to me is what's great, is the fact that he actually cares about the client, he cares about the wedding, he cares about the end result, and he loves it.
That's
So
perfect.
we like to tell their story, and so sometimes it's hard. Without Cody, it would be a little bit more difficult. I mean, we can do it. I've shot weddings for many years by myself, but having Cody there just makes it so much easier, because I don't have to worry about things. I really don't. We have our itinerary, which we put a lot of work into our pre-planning, because not all of our weddings have planners. So for the ones that don't, we definitely do as much as we can. Our itinerary is very detailed. Our timeline is very detailed for things that are related to photography, which is pretty much the second we show up until the very end of the day. And so knowing that I have Cody there, he's got that little clipboard with his checklist, and he's making sure that we don't forget anything. And I just love it.
I
I'm
love
not gonna lie.
that.
Yeah.
And how many shooters do you guys have contracted or on your team
We
permanent?
work with a handful. I mean, I'd say throughout the year, we'll probably work with maybe 5 or 6 different photographers.
Okay.
We usually try to work with the same photographers. Sometimes, not all of our photographers are available. So, we're constantly interviewing new people just to make sure that we've got more people ready that, just in case, because things do happen. But luckily, we have a great photography community in this city. So there's a lot of people that love to work with us, and a lot of people that want to work with us that we haven't gotten to work with yet. So the opportunity is definitely there.
Yeah.
So take us through the process. Let's assume there's no planner, because I know it's always a little bit different when we're involved. So let's say this is just a client that has called you on their own, and they want to talk through booking and how your process works. Take us through that.
Okay, so like you come out from inquiry to the end.
Yes.
Okay, so most of our clients are from out of state, just because New Orleans, as you know, is such a huge destination location. So majority of our clients I'm finding are either from or live in New York City or LA, the Bay Area. Just for whatever reason, it just works out that way. And so majority of the time it's going to start with a phone call. I don't typically like to have a lot of conversation via email. I'll respond, just let them know, that we are available and that we are interested. We'll give them our pricing range, which is also listed on our website. And then, we'll set up a call, and on that call, we'll have our initial conversation about the couple. My goal really is to understand the couple and understand, their wedding and their vision, to make sure that we're in alignment. Not so much an interview to determine whether we like them, but more so whether or not we click, because I think it is important for us. There are some clients, or potential clients who we've talked in the past that I don't think that we were a fit for them, and so luckily it didn't, they didn't book us. But for those the majority of the people that we have kind of a niche style, I feel like. So when people reach out to us, they're very attracted to our specific style and our look, the way that we present our photos, all of that. So for us, majority of the people that reach out are our client, which is great. And so we'll set up a call with them. I'll get to know them, run through the pricing, and then they book.
Would you say, and since they're from out of town, they probably don't get to make it here prior to booking, so you do extensive phone meetings and things like that?
Usually we just have one phone meeting,
Yeah,
and it's usually about an hour-long conversation, and a lot of times we hit it off right away on the phone. We talk, and then we know, and I feel like it's the same way. I feel like and we've got a lot of stuff about us on our new website. We've got a video about us, so I feel like they already kind of get to know us. So when they get on the call, it's really about us getting to know them at that point, because we want to understand, their background and what makes them, a couple. Are they quirky? Are they very romantic? Are they just really silly? Like, what are they? And so the more we understand about them, I feel like the better we can connect, and the better we can really determine whether or not they're a fit for, or whether or not we're a fit for them. And a lot of times I'll tell them at the end, I'm like, if I feel like I'm a fit for them, I'll tell them. I'm like, I think we're a good fit. And if I don't, well, no, I'm kidding. Then I may have forgotten to say it, but in the email I'll say it, the follow-up email.
If it's not, then all of a sudden their date is booked. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. So also, do you have a specific style that you would be able to describe, or what do you think y'all's real kind of style is?
Yeah, well, first I do want to add real quick to the last question. So although most of them are phone conversations, this is our home studio, so we do meet with clients a lot here. So I'd probably say half of our clients that we book that are from out of state, they do have trips planned a couple weeks before they even reach out to inquire. They've already set that plan in motion. So we just met with a potential client last night. We met with another potential client last week, several last week. So, and these are all from out of state, and they ended up just booking after they met us. So it works out really great. And we love that opportunity, when we do get to meet them in person, because it's paramount. There's nothing more powerful than getting to have conversation. We usually drink wine with them, or cocktails and king cake, whatever. And it's great. So anyway, so in terms of our style, and I'll let Cody add to this too, but I would say a lot of people like to call us dark and moody, and I don't think that's the term that I would like to use for us, because that insinuates that all of our photos are dark, and that's not true. I would say our approach is very organic and authentic. So our goal is really to capture people authentically for who they are, and capture them in their own natural habitat, if you will. And that kind of sounds like I'm referring to them as an animal, but so we are kind of like animals. But the reality is that is our goal. And so some of our clients, they're like, look, do not pose me. I don't want to be posed. I'll touch my foreheads together, and that's fine. And for us, then we're like, what, we want to capture you for who you are. So we do in terms of lighting and style, we do like to play on moods. So, and to a degree, we're moody because we're going to play on the mood. So if we're in a really cool, trendy hotel, like the Pontchartrain Hotel, I'm probably not going to use a lot of flash in there, especially in the Jack Rose area, that lounge area with Lil Wayne and all that. We're gonna leverage the lighting that's in there. The really cool lighting creates a cool vibe. You know, we're all about ambiance. So when we're capturing a lot of the portraits that we'll do, we'll, you know, maybe set them up on a sofa and play with like the lamp that's plugged in, or catch some window light coming in on them. So we really try to like leverage a lot of natural light, ambient light, so that we're not washing away the ambiance. But obviously when needed, I mean, we shoot a lot of night weddings too. So when needed, we definitely use flash, especially during the receptions. And for portraits, you know, we had a client recently that fortunately we weren't able to get as many portraits as we wanted because some, you know, things happened during the day. But, you know, so we had to do them all at night, but she really wanted them with the candle lighting. And so of course we set up some lights and it looked great. It was awesome. So, and we still captured that ambiance. So anything you want to add with the style?
I would just say, like, as far as our style, most of our clients who reach out know that about us. Most everyone says the same thing, that we're organic, we capture the moments, and that's what's really drawing them to us. As far as lighting and all that, you know, I don't really deal with that. But our photos are going to capture, you know, the mood of the room. You know, like Matthew was saying, whatever the lighting is, that's what it's going to look like in your photos. Because we want it to seem like you're actually there while you're going through your photos.
Yeah, and in terms of like, you know, capturing people, like a lot of people book us just because of the way that we capture moments, you know, so like real moments. And I feel like for us, we never actually stop working. So like when we're working a wedding, I mean, we don't really take breaks. I mean, we take a break like to eat for like 15 minutes, but other than that, I mean, we want to be in the moment. I feel like every time we shoot, our goal is to shoot with our heart, less with our mind and less with our feelings, but more with our heart, and really be a part of it. So if we're feeling their energy and we're feeling their vibe and they're having fun, then in our hearts, we're having fun with them shooting it, you know, and we're really trying to capture that we're feeling in the room. Even though that sounds kind of weird, but to me, that's, you know, there's some weddings that we shoot, I'm just like, wow, the energy that's in the room, some of the second lines, the energy, you know, and it just pumps us up to get those photos and get those moments. And that's what we aim for, you know, we're looking for it, we're waiting for it. It's almost like we can almost predetermine when some of these moments are going to happen because we just know, you know, especially when we know the couple, we spent that time with them, we know how they are with each other. We're waiting because we know, like, I know he's going to give her a kiss soon. I just know that's how he is. He's affectionate. Or I know he's probably going to grab her hand because he loves to show that he comforts her. And, you know, so I'm waiting for those things to happen because I know how they are, you know? So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the back end of the process. What's your turnaround time typically for photos after the wedding?
So I would say we probably have slightly longer turnaround time than some. I think I'll answer the question. So 8 to 12 weeks is our guaranteed turnaround time. We usually shoot for 8 weeks. This last season, we were probably approaching a little bit closer to the 12-week mark. We just got more booked up than ever. So our wedding season was humongous. Our corporate event business was huge. So we were just, it was nonstop during the holidays. So for us, we literally since October took on, I was looking at our software, I think we took on over 80,000 photos just since October. So for us, it's a lot of processing. And Cody's actually a big part of the processing. So because he is part of majority of the events that we shoot, it's easy for him to help out in the process. So photographers, we have what's called a culling process where we go through and we narrow down the images. So if we took 3,000 photos at a wedding, we're going to deliver 500 to 800, potentially 1,000 at the absolute most to a client. Cody is in charge of narrowing those down for me, which is amazing. That saves me hours of time. And the cool thing is Cody he looks at it differently than I do. So I look at it, my heart's attached to the images. So inevitably I'll just pick more than half of them. And Cody's like, you can't give them 1,500 photos. I'm like,
the same still.
Yeah, it'll be like 10 images of the same thing. I'm like, but she might. She might not like the way her head tilted like an inch. And Cody can just quickly be like, she doesn't look good here. Next, she looks amazing here. Boom, 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 boom. And I love that, so it makes my life so much easier.
Everybody really does need a Cody, so. Yes.
Quite
Aside
the
from the Cody.
What do I do?
What? No. What sets you apart both of you, the team, but aside from, because that is a huge asset.
Yeah.
Aside from that, what do you think is kind of different about you than the other photographers in New Orleans?
So for me, I would say, I think a lot of it is our style. I think it's our approach to photography is a little bit different. We're not so in our heads in terms of like making sure that we follow every single rule. Because some photographers, I feel like, that have been in the business for a long time, that they are just so stuck in their head that they think that there's only one way to do things. And we live in an entire new world now where things are way different. People are photographers from their iPhones. And the reality is that honestly, there are some amazing photographers that are popping up left and right. And I have nothing but respect for those people. I think their imagery is incredible. Some of them are even better photographers than I am from an artistic standpoint. However, I think for us, we're very business oriented, so I think that that's very important when you're spending $5,000+ on your wedding photography. I think it's important that your photographers have a business mentality and can understand the importance of things, backing up the images, understanding the repercussions from things if you don't do this, X, Y, Z, just pre-planning and scenarializing things is very important. And so the fact that we've been in the business for years, this is what we do day in, day out. We live and breathe weddings, literally. That I think that there's a lot of people that do that as well. But I think that our passion in the business, our passion for the couple, and our passion for their wedding, and reminding ourselves at every single wedding that this is the rest of their lives. So even though we've done this for years, I feel like we don't get burnt out at all. We love it every single time. It's always it's a whole nother story every single time. So I don't know if that really answers the question.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And also, we're obviously really cute too. So that's kind of cool, right? I'm just kidding.
I think it's important. I think that's super important.
I'm just kidding.
Well, guys, that is it for today. Check them out. We'll have their website posted. Also, don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share. And we're going to have some of their favorite images that are going to come up right after this video. So stay tuned for that. And follow us on YouTube. Check out all of our social medias and websites. And call us. And comment if you have a vendor that you want to see on here. Or if you have an idea, anything like that, just go ahead and let us know. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.